All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So I thought the same thing that you guys did as soon as I saw the picture of Jack Hermansson and Khamzat Chimaev. Is Khamzat betraying his best friend and training with his opponent, especially given the gravity of this fight for Darren Till? Like, this is a must-win fight for Darren Till. Now, I don't know if I've said this recently, but there are a handful of guys that I root for no matter what. Like, no matter who they're fighting, I root for them regardless. And Darren Till is one of those guys. I don't know what it is. I've never met him or anything, but like, I really like Darren Till. Like, I really like him. I think he's a great dude. I think he's got great energy. I think he's super fun. He fucks around with everybody. He's a guy that, like, you know, like you'd have to like go out of your way to actually dislike that guy or have some kind of personality disorder. But he's hit that moment of his career where like he needs to win this fight. You know, like he really needs to win this fight. And he's got a lot going for him, but it's also a really tough matchup. And so to have Khamzat, his best friend, training his opponent, that stuck out to me, obviously. But there's a lot more to it than that, right? There's a lot more to it than just like, oh, here's Khamzat training with Jack Hermansson. It's a much more interesting topic than that, actually. But before I get into it, I'll just say this. If you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. I say it every time, but I encourage you to do it. You know, if you ring the bell, then you'll know every time I subscribe. Every time I upload. And also follow me on Instagram. I upload there all the time and I don't ever promote it. It's real Jesse on Fire at Instagram. And I do totally different content there, but it's solid. So give me a follow over there. You'll enjoy it. Anyway. Oh, the other thing too, I'm going to have to read an ad in this video at some point. And listen, it's just part of what we do here at YouTube. I have learned not to do it at the beginning of videos because they annihilate my channel for that, but I'm going to put it towards the end, and I would appreciate it if you guys just sat and listened to it. I'll make it funny. I will make the ad funny. Okay, let's handshake. Thank you guys. I know I'm asking a lot, but nonetheless, I just do this for you guys all day long. Jesus. Okay, so here's the deal. So Jack Hermansson and Khamzat have been on the same team for a long time. I didn't even realize that. And once someone said it, I was like, oh, duh. You know, the Swedish All-Stars or whatnot. And that's interesting because Khamzat, I mean, what reason would Khamzat have to leave that camp? Darren Till's been training there a bunch, but when you get into a situation where you got two guys that are fighting each other at the same camp, almost always someone leaves, and Darren Till coming secondhand through Khamzat, Jack Hermansson being there essentially, you know, at least as far as I know, for a very, very, very long time. I mean, that's a no-brainer who's going to go. But, you know, before I even get into that matchup, actually, I'll just say this. There have been some really interesting situations like that recently where you had like, you know, Cowboy and Mike Perry at Jackson Wink. They went with Mike Perry. You know, Cowboy took it really personal. He folded Mike Perry's arm, and then Mike Perry has not done a camp at the same place twice since then. You got Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns very recently at, you know, the outfit, Henry Hooft and all them. And he went to Trevor Whitman, which turns out to have been an excellent choice because I mean, who knows, dude? He's so fucking good. Like, maybe he would have gotten just as good there, but it appears like Trevor Whitman added a whole other layer to his striking because now he's a decapitation risk too. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, like, you're going to fight a guy. Like, yeah, it's a sport. And you know, hi, how are you? You know, good luck, guy. If you're nice guys and you don't want to get into all the back and forth. But dude, you're training to fight a guy. Like, you're not going to do your camp in the same small building as the guy that you're fighting. Like, that just doesn't work. I mean, I'm sure people have done it, but that just doesn't work. And, you know, one thing about Khamzat and Jack Hermansson that I didn't even think about, but when I was doing, you know, just kind of checking up on this topic, I remembered is Khamzat grappled Jack Hermansson in that grappling match. Remember one of the data points that we had, but going into the Gilbert Burns fight, why we were so confident in Khamzat, in addition to the fights that he had in the UFC, he also did that grappling match against Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson is a tremendous grappler. He's known as a tremendous grappler. And Khamzat ragdolled him at 85. Ragdolled him at 85. Like, to me, of all the stuff I had seen from Khamzat up to that point, that might have been the most impactful, you know, because up until then, like, you know, for me personally, I talk about this all the time. I do not fall into the trap that most fans do. And I mean, I guess, honestly, even guys that should know better, fall into the same trap, which is not acknowledging who the person's fighting against, you know? Like, I mean, and, you know, obviously there are a lot of people who do acknowledge that, but some people who don't, where it's like, you know, they're all blah, 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 blah. You're okay, well, who's he fighting? Like, who is he fighting when that happened? And so going into the Gilbert Burns fight, there was one name that was heads above any of his other opponents. And it's a person that he fought at 185, and it's a person that he fought in the guy's specialty. And that was Jack Hermanson in that grappling match, and he ragdolled him. Like, that was the thing where I was like, man, this guy's superhuman, you know? At the same time, I will, you know, give myself a little one of these when I say I did handicap that Gilbert Burns fight correctly, though. I said that he's not, like, Gilbert's so nasty off his back, this may end up a stand-up fight, and you don't have any idea what Khamzat's got on his feet. That's it. That's the only compliment I'm going to give myself. But it was a good one. But anyway, I mean, so look, like, I don't know where Darren Till is doing his camp, but I can say this. Going into this fight, the gap in his game is evident, right? Or was evident, right? He got caught by Tyron Woodley, and in every other situation, well, I guess the Robert Whittaker fight was a really close stand-up fight. Like, that was a really tight decision. But in the others, he got taken down. He's got a gap in his ability to defend takedowns, right? He's, you know, kind of a Kevin Holland type deal. And Jack Hermanson is a tremendous risk to taking him down. Now, I don't think that Darren Till is going to be as vulnerable to that anymore, and I'll tell you exactly why right after I read you the ad that I alluded to you guys, which is from IPVanish. So IPVanish is a critical component to anyone who is protecting their information. I'm telling you, I could read you this ad, honestly, about, you know, transferring your data safely, browsing safely, not getting your data stolen safe, all that. I could tell you all that, but I'm going to tell you a different story, which is 100% true, okay? My business partners are Navy SEALs. Okay, a lot of the stuff that they do has to do with intelligence. I've learned recently how insecure your data actually is. Like, how truly insecure your data actually is in many situations that you find yourself throughout like regular business. And all of the ways that they can just, not all of them, but the primary ways that someone who just goes to Radio Shack and builds a very, very basic thing that can extract information from people who are connected to certain networks, if they have IPVanish or they have a VPN, they cannot do it. If you think you don't have anything valuable on your computer, you're out of your mind. You have your social security. You have all of your passwords. You have every single thing. Do you know, like, even if you don't think you have a lot of money, do you understand how fucking annoying it is to have to go and redo everything? Go like, I guess I got to go in and redo all my fucking passwords. I got to go do a new ATM card. I got to go open a new bank account. It's a fucking nightmare. If you've never done it, trust me when I tell you, you don't want to fucking do it. It's worth the very, very inexpensive price. So if you go to ipvanish.com/Jesse and you use the promo code Jesse, that's Jesse, then you are going to get 70% off. You buy for a year, it's extremely inexpensive. You will thank me. I promise you will thank me, because you'll know that you didn't get hacked when you would have gotten hacked. I have no idea how you're going to know that. But just be responsible. ipvanish.com/Jesse, promo code Jesse. Because otherwise, some Navy SEAL is going to snake your shit, or some crypto weirdo. Anyway, so I hate getting new passwords, man. So anyway, but talking about Darren Till. Okay, so here's the deal. Like, so we know what Darren Till's gap is, right? Like, we know what the gap in his game is. Okay, well, he's been training with Khamzat Chimaev nonstop. That's all they do. Like, that's all they do. The most universal thing that anyone says about Khamzat Chimaev is he does nothing but train. So you might catch, you know, video clips of them in parking lots, or them going shopping for shoes, or them doing whatever. But I can promise you the primary thing that their lives are focused around is training. I don't need to promise you, that just is. That's what they do. And Khamzat is a wrestling, I mean, he ragdolled the guy that Darren's going to fight. Not only can he teach him specific techniques that Darren obviously didn't have beforehand, but he also can teach him how to wrestle specifically against Jack Hermanson, right? So that should theoretically give Darren Till a tremendous advantage. You know, look, like, you're in the gym with a guy and you're wrestling with a guy, you're getting some rounds in. that's not the same thing as like really like, you know, having the guys back. Like if you have two guys fighting, right? Like you have two guys fighting and they're both kind of on your team in like a situation like this. And one of them is like your best friend. And the other one is a dude that's on your team that you care about. You root for him most of the time. You know, he's your training partner. Like you want him to win normally. But now he's fighting one of your best friends, right? Okay, you can give him rounds. Like giving him reps is not the same thing as giving him additional skills, right? Like really like bestowing new information, new data, like new, you know, I don't know, new techniques, etc. Like the kinds of things that Khamzat is able to give to Darren Till. So just because he's giving rounds to Jack Hermansson, that doesn't mean that he's training Jack Hermansson for the Darren Till fight, where I can promise you on the other side, he is training Darren Till for the Jack Hermansson fight. I mean, at least that's what I'm going to assume, because that's what every person that I know who has a really close buddy would do. Now, in the recent past, I've found out that maybe close friendships don't work like I thought that they did. I still don't believe it. I still don't fucking believe it. I just want to make that clear. I don't fucking believe it. Till something's on paper, I don't fucking believe it. But nonetheless, I think I can be safe assuming that Darren Till is going to go into this fight very well prepared because of Khamzat. And it'll be really interesting to see how it goes, because it's not like Hermansson has nothing on his feet, but Darren Till should have a big advantage on the feet. You know, he should have a big advantage on the feet. I love watching Darren Till fight. Sometimes Darren Till had these fights and like people were all, oh man, that was boring. And I'm like, what, man? Like, I've never seen him have a boring fight, or I was never bored by one of his fights. They look like striking chess matches to me. You know, I love that shit. I fucking love that shit, you know? And I mean, if Darren is able to keep this to a striking chess match, that means he has succeeded in the, you know, primary objective, which is don't let Jack Hermansson take him to the ground, you know? So anyway, I'm sure that Khamzat is not betraying Darren. I'm sure he's just giving reps to his teammate. And I guarantee he is undermining Jack Hermansson and giving the blueprint to beat Jack Hermansson to Darren Till. But anyway, that's what I got. Go subscribe to my channel. You know, you can ring the bell if you want, but just subscribe, dude. Like, it just makes me feel better. My subscriber base is so fucking weird right now, man. I honestly, it's either YouTube is systematically going and deleting old accounts, or someone has created a shitload of fake accounts so that they can like make my subscriber base go up, and then when they want to like just knock it down 10 subscribers. It's so fucking weird, man. It's really fucking bizarre. But that's how close I follow it. And I work really hard on this fucking channel, so you'd be doing me a favor. Anyway, that is what I got. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.